It needs to be clear that you have no other loyalty.
Well, first of all, the PM is not really in a position to say that because the PM has sworn allegiance to the king.
Pow!
Nice.
Oh my God! Wow!
Bad we bad, Gaza bad we bad.
Yeah. Go on, mute ya, go on. Ease yourself, just keep it calm, mute ya, star. Only per pressure, I'm a corner. One time it hard to carry on. You no need no girl for turn to, no man for talk to. Feelings hurt, on the journey so far.
Wagwan Success family, this is O. Before I break down Mark Golding interview and let you know that Mark Golding never applied for British citizenship. His father arranged that when he was a child. You should know this. Andrew Holness deserves recognition for his political deception of the Jamaican people. Andrew Holness truly deserves a gold medal because he has proven to be a master manipulator. Does Jamaicans even realize the danger in what Andrew Holness did as the Prime Minister of Jamaica? By suggesting that someone should relinquish dual citizenship, Andrew Holness is advocating for a change that disregards the rule of law and democratic process needed to amend the Constitution, and he's going against the Constitution. Andrew Holness is trying to strip individuals of their constitutional rights without legislative process. Be honest, the trust from the Jamaican people in their leaders is built upon transparency, integrity, and effective governance, not merely on citizenship status or anything like that. Mark Golding points out several parliament members hold Commonwealth citizenship and question why his status is being singled out for personal attacks. And this is something I mentioned in my previous videos. Mark Golding attacks Andrew Holness policies while Andrew Holness does personal attacks. Mark Golding said he's not the only one in parliament that has Commonwealth citizenship, but this issue is being used against him. Mark Golding explained the phrase "one foot in, 1 foot out" pertains to Jamaican partial independence from the monarchy, specifically retaining the Privy Council while moving towards republicanism. Mark Golding has always advocated for a full decolonization of Jamaica from the monarchy, that Jamaica should completely sever ties with colonial institutions to truly stand on its own. Mark Golding said maintaining the Privy Council contradicts the goal of becoming a fully independent and proud nation.
There are a number of people in Parliament who are Commonwealth citizens. I'm not the only one. So, you know, I don't see why this is a big issue, but it's obviously being used as a way of trying to attack me personally.
Mark Golding explains that his British citizenship was arranged by his father when he was a child, and it has always been just a convenient travel document and nothing more. He did not actively seek this British citizenship. His father did that when he was a child and before he died. Big up Surgeon Golding for looking out for his youth before he passed away. Many parents need to do the same thing. Set your kids up for success, so anything happen to you, you know, so them can stand on them 2 feet, and you did already put in place measures to make sure say you them all right.
I never applied for British citizenship, you know. I've never signed any application form for it. I got a passport when I was a little child. My dad arranged that, and you know, over the years I've continued to have it, but I don't use it now. And for me, it was a travel document that was convenient. I'm quite willing to give it up because I haven't been using it, as I've said, for many years now.
This is where Mark Golding fully exposed Andrew Holness' hypocritical ways. Mark Golding said Andrew Holness has pledged loyalty to the king, so Andrew Holness has no place of talking about where his loyalty lies. Mark Golding said Andrew Holness voluntarily joined the King's Council in 2021, and Andrew Holness swears allegiance and fealty to the king, which conflicts with his advocacy for decolonization and republicanism. So Mark Golding said Andrew Holness is a flip-flop on this case.
Perception of having two masters. The PM said, you know, be a parachute if anything goes wrong. You know, it needs to be clear that you have no other loyalty.
Well, first of all, the PM is not really in a position to say that because the PM has sworn allegiance to the king.
Pow!
In 2021, he joined the King's Privy Council voluntarily.
What? What the fuck?
And would have had to swear an oath or affirm an oath of loyalty to the king. That was a couple of years before he suddenly came on the train about decolonization and becoming a republic. So he's a flip-flopper on this issue.
Mark Golding compares his situation to Barack Obama and said Barack Obama became a US president without having to renounce his Kenyanship, and the Constitution does not require him to give it up. So Mark Golding said his identity is deeply rooted in Jamaica, and he really doesn't know why they are singling him out when the legal framework support his dual status.
It's part of who I am. You know, being my father's son is who I am. You know, Barack Obama was the son of a Kenyan. He didn't have to go through any procedure to renounce his Kenyanship. You know, he became the president of the United States. Similarly, I'm born here, I grew here. Yes, I have this status by virtue of who my father was. But why should I be required when the law doesn't and the Constitution doesn't require it to change my status? Nobody else has ever been asked to do that.
Mark Golding stresses the importance of dialogue and consultation in constitutional matters rather than having the Prime Minister Andrew Holness dictate changes as he please, because he believes that a collaborative process involving all stakeholders is crucial.
So from my standpoint, I think it shouldn't be a situation where the Prime Minister dictates what the Constitution should say. And he can't do that. You know, it's a question of dialogue, consultation, and let us discuss the issue. And if whatever comes out of that process, I will abide by. But as far as I'm concerned,
Mark Golding rightfully reminds us of his family's extensive contribution to Jamaica and showing his deep commitment to the country. His father, Sir John Golding, was a prominent figure in Jamaican public health, and his mother, a dedicated worker in public service. So their legacy includes advancement in healthcare and emergency response in Jamaica. Mark Golding is trying to show us his parents gave everything for Jamaica, and he's following in his parents' footsteps.
My father came to Jamaica in 1953 from the UK, and he spent the rest of his career and died here. He's buried on Slipe Road. So, you know, he was a person who gave a lot to this country. Started the Mona Rehab Center. He was in charge of the medical response to the polio epidemic in the 1950s. Yeah. The Kendall train crash, he was sent there to deal with the aftermath of that terrible incident and establish a National Road Safety Council, Hope Valley Experimental School, all of these things. My mother was a career public servant. She was one of the first 3 ladies, I believe, to join the civil service in Jamaica in an administrative position. And later on, after she got married and had children, she moved to the rehab center and spent the rest of her career there. So I'm very committed to Jamaica fully. You know, my entire life is about Jamaica. And so this whole thing is a bit peculiar.
Despite facing political pressure to renounce his British citizenship, Mark Golding said the public support him to keep his dual citizenship. Mark Golding feels proud and has pride in his father's legacy and the values that they instilled in him.
I get a lot of people telling me, don't give it up. A lot of members of the public saying, you know, don't succumb to this kind of pressure, which is politically motivated. Your status is in accordance with the Constitution. Your father was a person who... My father got the Order of Jamaica. It's the highest honor that a non-Jamaican can get. You know, he was loved in this country, and he served this country well, and I feel proud of him, and the heritage I got from him is part of who I am. So, you know, it's a big deal for me to be told that, notwithstanding that the law says and the Constitution says my status is legitimate and fine, I must give up that part of...
Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for the likes, thanks for the subscribe, thanks for the views, thanks for the comments. As always, I'm out.